I can't draw. You know, I realise this when I see my daughter's art. My art compared to her art is just like, my art's a joke. But anyway, I knew that I couldn't draw very well, and I thought to myself, well, I'm not going to go and ruin my story by trying to create illustrations myself, and I couldn't afford to pay somebody to draw the illustrations for me for my Butterfly Lullaby book. So I had no choice. I had to think outside the box, and I did a little Photoshop course, and you know, even the teacher said to me, because my partner helped me with it, and he said, wow, he said, you need to teach me, because he was so impressed with, you know, the front cover of my Butterfly Lullaby book, where we've got Melody laying on the leaf. That's my daughter as a little fairy princess. He said, you know, you need to teach me. I just thought like, oh, wow, that's so lovely, considering that, you know, I left school with not one qualification to my name because state education failed me and my daughter. But anyway, but we're both success stories in our own rights, and I think that a lot of people are, you know, so just don't give up. Anyway, going back to AI art, so I had to create, if you look at some of my illustrations in my book, I had to create a lot of the fairy costumes. I didn't use patterns, I just fluked it, because that's what I do. Perfection for me is overrated. I don't believe in perfection, because you just won't get anything done otherwise. I mean, I would have never got my book done. I did it in about 2 years. I don't know how I did it, because I had to create all the fairy costumes. I had to photograph all the characters from Mark German Stage School, cut them out, put them into scenes, cut out lots of butterflies. I took pictures of butterflies in the garden. I paid for some images that I used in there, and yeah, so I just sort of like merged it all together and created the illustrations. So you can see here the Butterfly Princess, that's Melody, my daughter. I've created the wings, etc. And as a backdrop, I think I sort of created like a silk. I did a silk painting, which isn't fantastic. And then I've got all the little fairies around the edge, with flowers and butterflies, etc., in their costumes. And then we go on to Sunset Bunny, the Easter fairy. Now she, you know, I created her costume as well, and the little ears as well. You know, I just fluked it, basically. And then you've got Flamingo Dragonfly, did that costume as well. So, and the Melody, you know, in the story, she turns into a bat, and she drains her mother of all her energy. You know, that's what it's like as a mum, isn't it? When you're trying to get your children to sleep and they're so scared, because being a kid, you know, you're so scared because the house is so big and you're so little. And when the lights go out, it's like, oh, I want my mummy, or I want my daddy, you know, don't leave me in the dark. So I can actually understand why children are scared. And I remember, you know, wanting to go to the bathroom when I was little, and, you know, looking upstairs, and it was so dark and nobody was upstairs, and I just didn't want to go. So, you know, I was always so very sympathetic to my daughter, and I used to lay by her side till she fell asleep. Sometimes I didn't even wake up. So, you know, but yeah, I just did what I could just to help her get to sleep, basically, and I didn't want her to be scared. So that's how Butterfly Lullaby came about. That's how the story came about. Just, you know, because it was so, you know, when you're sort of, you know, as a mum, you're so tired, you're doing everything, and you just want to go to your own bed at the end of the night, but you just know that you just got to be there for your kids if they need you, and that's what I did. So yeah, so anyway, going back to AI, so, you know, my daughter, she's studying in university, and the debt she's going to have from studying, and then she needs to also, you know, do more studies after university. So she's doing a 3-year course in design for performance, and then she's going to be studying, you know, illustration. So even though her art is absolutely amazing, you know, she's done this book character here where, you know, I love this because she could hardly read, write, or spell in school, and I had to take her out and home educate. And we use art, music, and dyslexic thinking. And dyslexic thinking it's a skill. It's promoted by LinkedIn Business as a skill because it helps you think outside the box. We're creators. dyslexics are creators. A lot of dyslexic people are in the music industry. They're actors, performers, musicians, singers, songwriters. It's so sad that dyslexia's got this awful label that's disabled. How can you call somebody that draws amazingly or sings or, plays an instrument disabled? Or as an actor, they're just not disabled, are they? They're creators, and education needs to acknowledge that and support it and promote it. And instead of actually forcing people to do certain things in education, they should be sort of say, yeah, you're good at this. Let's promote it. Let's go with it. So my thoughts on AI are, find other ways. Find other ways to create art, because when the internet's going around hoovering up artists' artwork and their students, they're struggling students or they're struggling artists, and on the internet, the way the internet works, basically you have to pay to get in front of everybody, and not everybody's got money. I most certainly don't, and I've had people overtake me in the search engines, like Swing Out Sister have overtaken me. They pay to overtake me, even though Butterfly Lullaby is my brand. It's, I paid for the trademark years ago, and, that was meant to protect me, which it didn't. And, I just find it sad. And I find it sad also that I know a family of a famous singer who died very young, and their website, they need that website to promote their loved one that died, so her memory keeps going on. And also, their family depends on the merchandise there to support the family, which this artist would have wanted that for their family, for her family. She'd want them to be supported by what she could do. And it's so sad that she never got to see her fan base, because it is massive. So, yeah, I think just, let's support the struggling artists, the students, the artists out there that have been struggling for years, that can't afford to pay to, get on top of the top searches in the search engines and get their work seen. Let's support them. So, leave me comments below. I'd love to hear from everybody. So, if I can do it, I mean, probably wouldn't suggest doing children's images online now, because for me, it's just what's happened to my business has put me off doing fairy portraits, to be honest, and that's another story. But just try and find other ways. There are other ways. You can find adult fairies to create, that look young for their age, that could be your characters in your story. And if you contact a stage school, they could be, they don't mind helping out, in the name of art. So you just don't know. Just ask and try other ways to be creative. Good luck, everybody, and that's all from me. Bye-bye.
Butterfly Lullaby by Sharon J. Bainbridge. Narrated by Owain Williams. The Queen was growing frailer. "Please, my little butterfly," she said to Princess Melody, "I need you to sleep on your own leaf tonight." "Mummy, I'm frightened," said Princess Melody. "Please sleep by my side." How could a mother say no to such a little troubled butterfly fairy? Princess Melody ruffled her wings, and with a big smile, she headed up to the tree palace. When the Queen fell asleep, which was never for very long, Melody turned into a bat, and as all the nights before, she would drain the Queen of her energy. Morning had come, and the Queen was still asleep. Princess Melody called for her daddy, the King Butterfly. "Mummy will not wake up, Daddy," she said. "Melody, you must sleep on your own leaf," said the King. "Can't you see what it's doing to Mummy? She has to sleep, otherwise..." "Otherwise what, Daddy?" "Never mind," said the King in a stern voice. Princess Melody sobbed and fluttered down to try and find her friends.